All right, welcome in everyone to your personalized deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at all the latest changes in UK immigration policy just this past January 2025.
Yeah.
And for all of you listening, just so you know, we're going right to the source, pulling this information straight from the Home Office and the UK visas and immigration websites.
Absolutely. And January was a really interesting month, you know. We saw a big push toward digital immigration and some interesting new developments about who actually needs permission to even travel to the UK now, like the full rollout of that electronic travel authorization, the ETA,
Right?
as well as a shift towards digital immigration status, visas, updates to the EU settlement scheme, and even a new bill in Parliament
No.
processing times, and a bump in the cost for student visas.
Wow. So if you're thinking about taking a quick trip across the pond, things have changed a bit. So anyone who's not European and coming to the UK, you know, whether it's tourism, business, even short-term study, less than 6 months, and you don't already need a visa, you're probably going to need to apply for an ETA now,
Right.
which launched just recently, beginning of this year, January 8th.
Yeah, it's interesting
Yeah.
because, you know, we're seeing this kind of pre-authorization step popping up more and more around the world. It's all part of this big push for tighter border security.
Makes sense.
So you'll apply online, go to gov.uk, or use that UK ETA app.
Okay.
Costs £10, and then usually it's good for 2 years,
Okay.
or until your passport expires, whichever comes first, and you can use it for multiple trips.
It's convenient.
Yeah, but you know, even with this pre-clearance, it's not a guarantee you'll be let in when you arrive. They still have the final say at the border.
Right.
And here's another thing: the list of who needs an ETA, it's not set in stone. It can change.
I see.
For example, like now, U.S. citizens, they need one. And then we also saw Trinidad and Tobago nationals, they have to apply for a full visa now, so they can't even use the ETA anymore.
Got it.
But it's actually kind of interesting, even if you're just passing through a UK airport, you know, not even going through border control,
Yeah.
you might need an ETA in the future. They're actually looking into that right now.
Wow. Interesting.
But yeah, the big picture is they're really trying to strengthen border security.
Definitely. And it seems like this whole ETA thing,
Yeah.
it's just one part of a bigger shift towards a totally digital system for immigration, right?
Exactly.
These visas replacing the old physical documents like BRPs, VRCs.
Yeah, and most of those physical documents, those actually expired at the end of last year.
did.
Yeah, but there is a little grace period. So if your BRP or USS BRC expired on or after December 31st, 2024, and you know, as long as your immigration status is still valid, you can use those documents for travel until June 1st, 2025.
Okay.
But after June 1st, they're not going to be valid for travel anymore.
I see. So, okay, so no more of these, you know, physical cards or papers.
Right.
How do people prove that they have the right to be in the UK then?
Well, that's where these visas come in, you know, to access your visa.
Yeah.
Generally, you'll need to make a UK visas and immigration account. It's essentially like a secure portal where they keep all your immigration information.
Online.
Online.
Right.
Yep. And you have to link it. So it's meant to be more secure, and it's supposed to be, you know, more convenient too.
Right.
Now, if you have indefinite leave to remain and all you have are those old passport stamps,
Okay.
you can actually apply for a free, no time limit visa.
Got it.
So it's all about getting everyone onto this new digital platform.
Very interesting. All right. Now let's talk about the EU settlement scheme.
Okay.
Some good news,
Yeah.
potentially,
Yeah.
for some people. There's a new process for converting eligible pre-settled status holders to settled status.
Yeah.
And they're doing it automatically by going through official records and confirming continuous residence.
It's a good change, I think. You know, they're being proactive about it. If you're eligible, they should send you an email. The first batch of these automatic conversions should have happened around the end of January, and it'll be happening throughout the year.
I see.
Really important to make sure your contact info in your UKVI account is up to date.
Good point.
And if your pre-settled status is about to expire and you haven't been switched over automatically yet, don't worry, they're extending it by 5 years automatically.
Gotcha. Okay, now let's shift gears a little bit to some bigger changes that are brewing. On January 30th, the Border Security, Asylum, and Immigration Bill was introduced in Parliament.
Yeah, this could have some pretty big implications down the road.
For sure.
You know, they're saying it's about boosting border security,
Right.
tackling immigration crime, and making the asylum system stronger.
I see.
So, you know, the government's clearly still very focused on these things.
For anyone listening who's in the middle of a visa application, just a heads up, They updated the visa processing times on the UKVI website on January 10th.
Okay.
And there's a video, too, that explains everything, gives you the latest timelines. But it's always best to just go straight to their website for the most up-to-date info, because those things change all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now, last but not least,
Yeah.
for anyone hoping to study in the UK, heads up, there was an increase in the required monthly living costs if you applied for a student visa after January 2nd.
Yep. So if you're going to be in London, it's £1,483 per month.
Okay,
And if you're outside of London, it's $11,136.
got it.
That's a lot to think about if you're planning on studying over there.
It is. So as you can all hear, January 2025 was a pretty huge month.
Yeah.
For UK immigration, there were some significant changes, from the ETA and the move to digital visas, to the updates with the EU settlement scheme, and of course those financial adjustments to student visas. Staying informed is more important than ever.
Absolutely. And remember, the best place to get accurate and updated info is straight from the source.
Right.
gov.uk for the Home Office, or gov.uk again for the UK Visas and Immigration section.
Okay.
They also have all the contact info you need if you have any questions or if you need to report anything.
So we've just scratched the surface here today
Yeah.
with this deep dive. I really encourage everyone to take a look at those websites
For sure.
and really think about, how these new policies might affect you
Yeah.
or your loved ones.
Absolutely.
It's a great place to start your own research.
Yep.
And something that I've been thinking about a lot lately
Yeah.
is, what's next?
Right.
What's the next logical step in how the UK's immigration system is evolving? It's something to consider.
Lots to think about.
Yeah, absolutely.